Sarah.
Yes.
How very kind of you to come down from outer space to do this.
Well, you know, I've always lived there in my mind anyway, so...
Do you realise this is the first interview that we've done together since I think we were married?
I think so. Actually, it's lovely.
Do you
And
think
I want... I really... Yes.
Start a rumour, shall we? Well, the big
it.
question then is, are you going to sing a bit of it when you do finally go to space, into space?
Well, who knows? I mean, space to place, maybe we can connect.
Particularly nice to you today. And,
Stop it, you're
I
always
think we need
nice
a bit of wishing you somehow here again, don't you think?
Yes,
I mean,
I
surely in space that's rather appropriate. As you're sort of going around.
Yes, it probably would be.
Yes, we hope you come back.
Well, we can sing to each other from the earth to space. Do you remember that that car ride, that taxi ride we made down the tunnel in New York with Cameron right at the beginning when we were discussing
that's right, yeah.
directors and all of that? And I was just a young wee thing, and I was sitting listening to all of this, sort of entranced and fascinated by the way that the sort of process was happening. But we were all really young at the time and crazy and full of ideas.
In fact, wishing you were somehow here again was the title that was the most difficult one of the lot. I remember Charlie Hart getting really, really annoyed one time down in the south of France when we were writing down there. He said, "Can't you turn it into a Christmas song? And then we could call it Spare a Thoughts for Kids at Christmas Time." I thought Spare a Thought for Kids at Christmas Time just about fits it, doesn't it?
Well,
but it didn't.
I wasn't there. No, but it was lovely just watching you compose the music for it. Wow, I think we were in France at that time.
Yeah, we did. And
some in England and different places
Twisted
in America.
Every Way.
Oh God, I remember all of that angst you were going through with that, because it is a very, it's sort of quite a personal piece, and
but it's still
it's all of its moments. It's beautiful.
Do you remember before we did the final rehearsals, we did at Sidlington, we did a concert of, some of the songs as a sort of good luck.
Yes.
And Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again had another title, and it was appalling, and I can't remember what it was.
No, I can't either.
I can't either.
But it was the thing about this piece is it worked right from the beginning. It didn't matter in what sort of even sort of had you composed things slightly differently at the beginning. You were trying out. It just worked. Everybody loved it. And the thing about it is a beautiful story. It's about human relationships. It was actually composed, as you know, with a lot of love and a lot of passion. Although I didn't use the word inception, I think that's an important point, because everybody, everyone's important, but actually none of this stuff works without the person with the vision right at the beginning and the composing. It's always about the person that comes up with the story and the idea of it and the composing, and without that,
it was a slight chapter of accidents, wasn't it? Because originally the idea was that you were asked to do a version of the Phantom of the Opera which was going to be quite jokey.
Yes.
With Ken Hill, who's sadly dead now, and he was going to use real opera, wasn't it?
Yes, I rushed into the house and said, I've just been for this audition. What do you think? And you said, actually, it's a beautiful idea.
But I thought it was.
And you thought of doing it a long time back, and actually hadn't come to fruition.
But we thought it was quite a good idea to do, but we thought that maybe if it was going to be like the way they were thinking of doing it, that it should be quite funny. And we went to, I remember going with Cameron to Japan when Cats was on
but that's your sense of humour, because you want everything funny.
Well, we talked to Jim Sharman, who directed the Rocky Horror Show, and also directed the original Jesus Christ Superstar.
Right.
And he said, "You've got to be joking." He said, "This can't be made funny." He said, "You should do that." And I remember thinking to myself, I don't know about that. And then I remember finding the book in New York and reading it one afternoon and thinking, it's not the same as I remember it. It's not a sort of funny thing with somebody coming out, saying boo from behind a chandelier. It's actually about a romance.
It's a love story.
Yeah, it's a love story.
For me, it's wonderful, because being there right at the beginning and then seeing performers go on and take on that role and bring their own thing to it and their own wonderment to it is a joy for me. It's like every time I go in to see Phantom, it's like watching this beautiful jewel, which is timeless.
Thank you, Sarah, for doing this.
No, and thank you for composing it. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece.
No, thank you for singing it, darling.
Forever. Okay.